today's video, we're going to show you how to replace the steps that come with your RV. Generally, they're not very stable. They don't actually touch the ground. We're going to replace those steps with Torklift Glowstep Revolution steps that actually do come down and contact the ground and are a very stable step. And they also allow you to do stuff like put these nice thick pads on them, these rubber pads for your dogs, and still fold them up, and they stay outside. So all the dirt and water and all that crap that gets on them stays outside. You don't have to fold anything up into your RV. And if you're stopping someplace that's crowded and maybe somebody parks on top of you, you don't have to fold a big long step out. You can just drop these out and fold them almost straight down, and you can make use of them. It's not an ideal situation, but you can make use of them. So we're going to replace these, and then we're going to take the steps we took off of here and we're going to move them to the front, and you'll see that at the end of the video. So continue watching to see our install, trials, and
Alright, so we are going to replace some steps on our trailer. This is the Torklift Glowstep Revolution steps. They fold in and out, and they also make contact with the ground, so they're not bouncy, and they make a really nice step. And we're actually going to eventually get rid of our electric steps up front. But what we're going to do is we're going to remove these steps, these aluminum steps, and we're going to replace those with the Torklift because we use the rear steps primarily, and then we're going to move those steps to the front to get rid of the electric steps because they are a little bit glitchy and they are really hard on the dogs going up and down. So to remove this, we're going to go in here, and you can see there's 4 bolts on this side, 4 bolts on this side, and 2 down there. And then, well, those 2 down there, they're 1/2 inch bolts and 3/8 inch bolts. And then we're going to pull the steps out of the actual mounting platform, mount it, and put the steps back in there. So here we go. 2 little bolts in the back. And I'm a pack rat. I keep all the bolts that I take out just in case.
Yep.
Now, that was a 3/8 inch head. Now we're going to switch to the 1/2. And see if we can get the other ones out. We'll leave it sitting there so that it don't fall out. Yeah, it's going to be painful to get to. There's not much room in here.
Yeah, it is.
Spinning, unfortunately. See if we can reach it there. Got other side here really bad. Come on, Kim. Get out if you're gonna go.
Because after a little bit, won't be no steps.
I might have to just trim in order to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know if y'all heard that, but he might have to move the trim.
We might have to take more off than anticipated because of trying to reach it.
To get to the steps. All right, y'all.
Improvised,
Be back.
and we created a longer wrench with the channel locks, We use vice grips on one and channel locks for the other, so we're able to get it without pulling the whole trailer apart. Hopefully that will continue. So now, pull the steps out. You're gonna film this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna put this bolt down.
You got the right side too?
Mm-hmm.
You got the right side too?
Yeah, this one is easy. This one doesn't appear to want to cooperate. Let's see. Now, theoretically, they should pop out.
Yay!
Yay! And now you can see that you can actually reach back there. Alright, so, move these up.
That's going on the front.
Those are going to go in the front, I hope. They don't have to be electric ones.
Hush.
That's where we're at. So the next thing to do is to pull this off. So, you should get around. So on these steps, there's one bolt right there, that right there, that's going to take the steps off of the frame, and we're gonna hit up both of those, and they give you a Allen key to go with it, so you just need a wrench. So here we go. Here's the Allen key. I don't know if that's 5/8 or 9/16. 9/16. So if you get ratcheting and wrenches, it makes it easier. Or if you're in a garage with a compressor, that makes it really easy with air tools, but we're in a campground. Take that off the washer. There's also a nylon washer in there. Yeah, make sure you grab that. So these are the parts that you need from that when you take it apart. With my And just for reference, when you're looking at it, you've got the black plastic nylon washer inside and the metal washer on the outside. So when you put it back together, it needs to go back together that way. That way it turns and moves without providing a bunch of friction.
You got an audience.
Yeah.
No, Cam.
Okay. So, just so I don't forget how it goes back together, and put that one back together.
Don't Joe's nothing.
Put this back together. Set it over here. Alright, so now we've got the actual step assembly out. And we need to see if we can get this in there. Much easier to deal with.
How come you didn't put these the same steps that you took off, right?
What?
They're the same, right? The steps?
This and that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Oh, they look
No. They're
similar.
similar.
I'm like, why
They're
didn't you
similar
just...
They're not.
You see how you looked at me?
But it does look like we may need a spacer in there because look,
Wow.
we're just a little bit off. So I'm gonna go find some washers.
Okay.
Alright, so we got it in there right, and I got it kind of propped up there close so it'd be easy to put together. And we're gonna use 4 bolts to hold it in place. And I don't think upon further review, I'm not sure if we're gonna need shims or spacers or not, but I have washers available for that. So we're gonna go ahead and check it out.
there's 2 different size bolts depending on your configuration. And in ours, I think we can fit one of the bigger ones and one of the smaller ones on each side. So we'll go ahead and lift this up into place. All right, so we're not going to bore you with all the details because this is taking some time to finagle our washers and our bolts in all the little spaces. But one tip that I will share is you can use a screwdriver or something else that's appropriately long and thin. Put your washer on there and then tape it into place. If you tape it into place, you can actually reach back there, hook it over the bolt, and pull it off, and it'll pull the and leave the washer in place. And you can do the same thing for your bolt while you're trying, or your nut while you're trying to scrape it on there. And the dogs, I don't know what their deal is, but apparently they know something's going on, and they're bothered by it. All right, so I won't bore you with all the 20 minutes or 30 minutes of each bolt trying to get on there. However, that's what we're doing. We're taping stuff in place, and then we're trying to put it on. The other thing you can do.
Ouch. You okay?
This is the extension wrench if you don't have long enough wrenches. And if you use the closed end, you can also tape a nut in the same place. It works really well. It makes it a little bit easier to get in there. And you can also use, this is a little bit longer, and I've got a little elastic strap here that I put around the end to hold it in place so that I don't have to hold it the entire time. It actually holds this closed on the end wrench and allows you to stick your nut or whatever else you need up in the right place. So that's what we're doing. We're going to take the screwdriver. What we're trying to do is shim this a little bit because there's kind of a gap there, and I don't know that it's all going to be closed by bolting it up, but I want to put some shims in there to make these steps nice and stable. So we're going to slide that back there, and we're going to possibly fit this bolt through there. Now some of those washers I also took and used 3M adhesive that I had on hand from another project and glued them to it, but some of them fell off. Now what we're going to do is try to get this actually in the right spot. There. So that went through there. It's going to be tight as far as whether or not we can get the washer on there. We might have to loosen the other side again.
Back in action. Right. It's been the struggle.
It is a struggle.
The struggle is real, folks.
You can either completely disassemble your J panels, or you can do what we're doing. And I don't feel like disassembling J panels, so
you're doing it the hard way.
Well, in one sense of the word, it might be hard, but the other sense of the word.
Well, it's more work taking the J panels off.
Yeah, that'd be way more work. Now we're gonna try to get this washer up here. And then we gotta get another washer.
That's a tight spot.
It is. That's one. Now, hi. See if we can reuse this tape.
Jasper.
Really doesn't need to hold up much, just a little bit.
You're on.
Screwdriver and tape. Get this last one done, so we're tightening up.
Almost done.
This part.
With that part, yeah.
So that should be easy though. Barely on there. Now, there's the nut, and let's try it this way. Something different. Try the vice grip to hold it in place. Yeah, I can squeeze the vice grip through in this section, maybe. Maybe not. Yay. tape, and wrench. Some people, if they have a welder, would spot weld this.
Some people do that.
Yeah. We don't have a welder, so we're not spot welding anything. We barely trying to get this on there. Let's see if this will fit in there. If not, we'll try a screwdriver, which is what worked for the back one. We'll actually use a screwdriver to get it started, and then go on from there. I think we just got it started. Nope. Maybe not. Never went to wash. Alright. Pause it if you'd like.
All right, y'all.
After about an hour or two to get 4 bolts in because of the tight space, we are now ready to put the steps in.
Yeah.
As you can see from here, those are all efforts to get either a washer or a bolt in place. New tape each time, and they kept falling out, so it was a little bit of a challenge. Anyways, here we go. So, bolt here. I guess I should start there and get us a washer in there. That on there. The other side set. Never fails that you drop the stuff that you're trying. There you go again. And that
Jasper.
Jasper something else.
That's him over there. Picking on Cam.
And then we're gonna go ahead and put a washer in here. Bolt back on. Nut back on.
Oh, my drink fell over.
I'm on. Alright,
Yep.
let's get the right tools in our mess. We need this. I believe that was a 9/16. Alright, so first thing we gotta do, tighten this down. Now the nice thing is that these steps come pre-assembled to whatever height you want, because we've put a step in a different set, putting an extra step in there and assembling that really sucks. It's kind of a pain in the ass.
Jasper.
Alright, so you can see the steps are a little bit off, but the nice thing about them is you can lift this up and you can realign them. Okay, we screwed that up. What did we do wrong?
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I gotta keep all that stuff back up.
They going up in there?
Let's see if we can go back in. Let's see. That's working. So that's working. It's still right. Why is it not?
So what are you trying to do?
I was trying to get them lined up right in here. And you know there's multiple. There it is. That's not very good. Alright, just use your air. Now you have very nice stable steps. And Cam really likes these steps. They're much easier on the Cam dog. And You can put those mats on them there.
Got those at Walmart.
Got those at Walmart. They have Camco Deluxe rubber mats, and they can actually stay on there while you put them away. Unlike the other ones. So much more stable step. Put the rubber mat on there.
Yeah,
So it doesn't
slip.
But the fact that they sit on the ground is a big deal. And then we can get rid of the electric steps. That's the end goal, is to get rid of the electric steps.
Yep.
We're trying to get rid of the electric steps because they sometimes break. And nobody wants to be stuck someplace because their electric steps are broken out.
Right.
All right, so the goal here with the steps was to replace the electric steps. And you can see these are the original aluminum steps that were in the back that are now on the front. No more electric steps there. So this is a manual easy out, easy in, and nothing to break. If we go to the back over here, you can see the dog enjoying the new steps right there. And we have our steps that now have those rubber mats on it, and they're very stable, and the rubber mats allow the dogs to go up and down them with no problems, even the old dog that's starting to have problems with his hips. So it's a nice, solid, stable set of steps that also fold up and go in the outdoors, and they don't have to be folded inside into your house. That's one of the reasons why we like them. And this dog right here, Jasper, loves just sitting on the steps and looking at the world, looking at his kingdom. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like the video if you would. Comment below if you have any questions or comments or suggestions for how to do it better. And subscribe to our channel for more how-to videos and travel videos and maybe some campground reviews and other stuff in the future.